And I had about an hour or two conversation with him talking about the political components of chiropractic, talking about some of the challenges that we see most frequently with doctors around the world that he's involved in coaching, and we were sharing some stories in the coaching world, and some of the challenges that people are having in practice, real-world challenges today, and how that we can better communicate and overcome those challenges. So I think you're really going to enjoy this interview that we have coming up with Dr. Joe Borio here at Mile High. I could see him coming out of the green room. I think Dr. Borio, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Borio travels with his own makeup team. So they were in the green room getting his makeup ready. He's been about an hour putting different powders on his face and things like that. So what you see here is the conglomeration of that expertise in makeup artistry. Dr. Joe Borio, what a pleasure it is to have you here.
Yes.
Folks, I got to tell you, if you're just joining us...
Could you guys back off a little bit, please? Just step back.
Please,
I'm having a little
everybody
trouble.
will get a chance.
Yeah.
Folks, if you're just joining us, you are watching IFCO Television, broadcasting live from Boulder, Colorado, United States of America. Of course, my name is Dr. Liam Schubel. I'm your host, and Dr. Frankie Hahn, the co-host and the founder and inventor of IFCO Television. We're broadcasting live, and of course, my good friend and guest today is Dr.
Not so good.
Not that good. Great, but I mean, I enjoy our time together. Unfortunately, he doesn't. I'm like, as they say in Spanish, a mal necesario. But anyway,
whatever.
Dr. Joe Borio is here. I have to tell you, he's one of my favorites on the planet. He's a phenomenal communicator. He has a phenomenal heart, and he has a phenomenal knowledge. I've been over to his mansion up in the upstate New York region, and he has one of the largest collections of chiropractic literature that I've ever seen in my life. And I think after talking with him, he's actually read those. You know, so I have him on my bookshelf at the back just for live video streams. You know, he has actually read this stuff, and we were talking.
Albert Hubbard. We were.
Albert Hubbard.
There you go.
Yeah.
Got his whole collection.
Not L. Ron Hubbard, which
No,
people think
That's
that we're
correct.
talking about.
Yeah. Dianetics. No,
but
not that
it's
one.
a great pleasure. And, while we're on the air, so I could document this, I wanted to give you a gift, Dr. Borio. I don't know if you drink coffee, but that's from that's from the high jungles of Peru.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so I hope you enjoy that. Because I enjoyed our conversation last night. And, Dr. Borio, we were talking about...
Why does it have Scotch tape on the top? It looks like it was open.
It's high levels.
It looks like it was open before.
You carried something across the border in there.
Maybe we shouldn't have recorded this part. So, anyway, Dr. Joe Borio,
yes,
welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Why is it? Because you got here late last night. Why? And after seeing 300-400 people in the morning, why is it that you pack up shop and get in your fancy maletas, your suitcases, and make your way to Mile High?
That's a good question. I was actually starting to question that myself
when you saw me
last night. I mean, how funny was that, though?
Yes.
I come walking down the hall, and all I'm trying to do is drop off some of the stuff because they have the IFCO stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And I see you guys sitting in the room.
Well,
that was kind of funny.
Let's be clear.
That was
we were sitting in the VIP room,
absolutely.
and so of course that's just where we hang out.
Absolutely.
Normally. We were drinking expensive Italian water.
Yes, you were. We were actually.
And you joined us.
Yes,
so
I
that
did.
was exciting.
That was fun. And who hung till the end?
It was you and I. Yeah,
you and I. Right? Everybody else just begged.
Well,
I understand. So why? Getting back to your question.
Yes.
That's there's many reasons for that, right?
Yeah.
One is I told you that story last night. My son, both of my boys, for a few years had traveled with me a lot, and they were in their early teens or before. And one of my sons, Joey, I said, "Hey, do you want to come listen to your dad?" Because they were hitting the pool and the hotel and all that stuff. And he goes, "Well, I've already heard what subluxation, BJ Palmer, DD Palmer, whatever." And we kind of laughed. And I said, "No, really, you should come. It's going to be a lot of fun." And he said, "I don't understand something. Why is it that you have to go teach other chiropractors about chiropractic?
Right.
I don't understand why you're talking to other chiropractors about it." So I think in the end, that's it. I've been very blessed for many reasons in my upbringing. You okay there? You have
I'm doing good.
Okay.
I just did the coffee. I guess maybe I should. I think it was been already open. I don't know. I was sitting there out in the sun.
It's Scott State one, I'm telling you. But
really doing a number on my dead.
Yeah, exactly. So you're blessed. You have many different influences in my life, which I'll talk tomorrow about. My family and my dad and mom running the business.
That too.
Yeah, I heard we're going to live stream that too.
Great.
That may be a regrettable decision. We'll see how that goes. But
I think I'm going to be watching it live from Vico del Gargano. If there's any food left over.
I think there might be. We may have replenished since you left. So that I think that's it. And you realize, I was in practice and I did. Successful on many levels. I'm seeing a lot of people, financial success, but also having the love and appreciation of understanding chiropractic, the adjustment. I had so many phenomenal mentors in my life when it comes to, Reggie and Gold and Jim Sigafus and Fred Barge and Sid Williams, and many of which you talk to the younger versions of chiropractors, they don't even know who these people are. And so you think about that, and then you realize, wow, because of those blessings, you have something to contribute. There's certainly a way to give back. I certainly do a consulting program, so that's a way that I give back and try to create a business to share with other people. But as you do too, right? But you come to these events, you're coming on your own dime. Why are you here? In the end, you're here because you love what we do. It's a principle. You don't want to see it die. You want to see it thrive and flourish. So, and you feel a responsibility, I think, deep within yourself to share that message with other people, because you could heighten that level of consciousness for a few people or many people, and boy, they could explode, and then they would be the next mentor or teacher for the next generation. So that's why I do it.
Well, I got to tell you, you are probably one of my favorite chiropractic communicators, and one of the things you've done with
what do you mean one of? That was a little.
Well, I'm my favorite.
Your bride.
Right?
Okay.
I'm the greatest.
Next to you.
I am the greatest.
Okay. Because you said one of. I was like, what do you mean one of? I mean, seriously? Exactly. I mean, seriously.
Number two.
Play the game. Give a little bit of.
You're the vice president.
Okay, I'm great.
If something happens to me,
Joe Biden. I'm Joe Biden right now. You just called me Biden right now.
If something happens to me, the profession's still going to be okay.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
It will be.
I'm glad. So
it won't be the same.
No, it won't be.
So anyway, getting to the
were we trying to be constructive in this conversation? All right, we'll stop.
Here's the thing that's great about you. Is you were telling me about all the mentors that you've had, and you've really been brilliant at boiling down all that genius in communication. One of the things I absolutely love about you, because there's many things, but one of the things I absolutely love is your ability to explain chiropractic simply and in a repetitive fashion to practice members. You were talking about this last night. You were saying, gosh, the more I practice, the more I just have to keep simple.
Yes.
You have things like that telephone wire that you bought, your props, the toothbrushes, all these. Tell us some of those things, because when I hear those, I just go, gosh, I got to implement that tomorrow into my practice, right?
Sure. You have no one gets what we do. I mean, that's rule number one.
Right.
So when I start my day in the office, literally it is no one gets what I do.
That's your mindset.
That's my mindset.
Yeah.
And what's more important, and this may take a few people and hit a few buttons, but what's more important than the adjustment at this level in our stage of evolution of chiropractic, I believe, is getting the message across.
Interesting.
Because, if not, they're going to use you as natural allopathia. I hurt, you crack them a few times, I don't hurt anymore.
Right.
And when I use that terminology, that's from their perspective, not from our perspective, right?
And you stay totally away from that.
Totally away from
You're bringing them to a different paradigm.
Trying. I mean, certainly lead. It's a tour guide, right? I mean, it's always whether you're their coach, you're taking them on a tour.
Sure.
But if you're a leader I may meet you where you are, but I'm going to bring you to a different place, right?
Yeah.
If I just stay where they are, they leave your office with exactly the same paradigm, and even worse, you've perpetuated their existing paradigm, and therefore they're next time, hey, doc, Liam, you were great adjustment, and boy, next time I have trouble with my golf, or next time I hurt, you're the guy I'm going to call. I'm going to come see you. You haven't done anything. You've done nothing. Right? You've done nothing. So we utilize analogies and
questions. You ask
always. It never stops questions.
So, Doc,
I get that from my dad.
Okay, and brilliant. Yep. So, Doc, my low back pain's gone away. Why do I have to keep coming in?
Well, why do you think it went away?
Because I got better.
Right. Why do you think you got better?
because the bones in my spine are better aligned.
Right. So how does that make you better? What was causing it to hurt?
The damage and
Right. What do they press on? If your spine goes out of alignment, what do they press on, Liam?
the nerves,
Right. And what goes through your nerves?
all the messages from my brain.
Right. Are they important?
Super important.
So there's less pressure on those, right? Which means what? You're healthier or sicker as a result.
Healthier.
How did they go out of alignment? Why were they out of alignment?
Accidents, falls, stress.
Right, exactly. Are you still going to have accidents, falls? Do you still have stress in your life?
Yeah.
So by not caring for them, by not taking care of it, that led you to get what in the first place?
Sick.
Right. So by taking better care of it now is going to allow you to what?
Maintain my health
Right. For how long?
forever.
And not only maintain, I mean, I get you, I get where
Yeah.
you're going, Liam,
Yeah.
and that's great. But if I take really good care of myself
yeah.
consistently, which you'd say fair, you probably have
Yeah.
not. Is that
Yeah,
fair to say
that's
that?
fair to say.
So if I take really good care of myself consistently, my nervous system consistently for years and years, not only is it going to maintain, what's going to happen to your overall health?
It's going to be better. Much
Right.
better.
And a little bit better, or
Much better.
it'll keep getting
Better.
right. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So in the end, that's what this is about. And listen, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but
Right.
I noticed that your wife and children, they haven't been in to get checked yet.
That's right.
Right? So what can
Yeah.
we do? How can I help you get them in so we can get them checked?
Perfect. Yeah, so I maybe need an economic plan.
Yeah, well, is it a financial challenge?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so you know, it's $37 to come in and have your family evaluated.
Okay.
So why don't we start there before we worry or adopt maybe those other financial challenges
Okay.
that may be there? Let's at least get them in and get them checked first, and then after that, we can always have that discussion. I mean, you'd agree, if you do nothing, what's going to happen?
They're going to get worse.
Right, so
Yeah.
something's always better than nothing. Maybe it's not the ideal, but something's better than nothing.
Right.
Is that fair?
That makes sense. Yeah. And that's the thing. It makes sense. And it's
Right.
coming from me, not
Correct.
from you.
There's a big difference between Dr. Joe Borio said and
Yeah.
I have.
You got it.
And a lot of docs don't get that. Like I know that we get that way because we go to school and we're educated that way and we're rewarded for the right answer. But they don't know what ligamentum flavum is or
Right.
Yeah.
proprioception
I don't
or
either, to be
mechanical.
frank
Well,
with you.
that's totally fine. You know, they don't know that. So when we start utilizing words like that, we lose them. Even
Yeah.
and they're not going to say, "I don't know what you're talking about," because nobody wants to admit they
You're
don't know
an
what
idiot,
they're talking about, other than you, obviously.
Right.
But most people are going to go, "Oh yeah, no, I totally get
Yeah.
that." So the best thing to do is ask them a question. You know, so what do you see there that concerns you is a really good question. Other than, "Hey, Liam, I had a chance to look at your X-rays. You're going to see here, you don't have a curve, and this is bad, and this is bad, and this is bad." They're going to walk away with, I don't know, he said something like this.
So good.
Yeah.
Rather than, "Hey, listen, Liam, this is normal. What do you see that's wrong?"
That's brilliant.
And all of a sudden they
Yeah.
own it. So now
Yeah.
when they leave and they talk to their friend,
They saw it.
and
They said it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Then it's I have rather
Yeah.
than Doc. See, if it's Dr. Joe said this, then they're easily influenced by going to somebody else, and they're going to say, "Well, this doctor said this, and that doctor said this." Now it's like, no, this is what I have. I saw the film. I saw the normal.
Beautiful.
That's what I have. So now they own it. They're much more likely to take responsibility for it. They're much more likely to be what we call emotionally digested in it,
Yeah.
right? So now they're emotionally digested. Now they're vesting in their health more because they understand what they have. And you're giving them some skill sets to understand it. You eliminate some of the self-sabotage because your biggest sabotagers themselves,
Yes.
right?
Right.
So you start to eliminate the self-sabotage, and as a result, now they start to take steps towards making themselves healthier
Okay.
rather than looking at you to make them healthier.
This is brilliant. Frank,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Doc,
You have
I
a
was going to say,
question.
Doc,
He's the-
you have a great coaching program. Is that something that you teach your clients how to do this?
Yes, yeah, we do. I mean, nowadays it's a different world,
Right.
as you know. You're a lot older than I am, but but you know, I went to you know, I listened to Sid. I mean, Sid would get up and unload on you, and you'd just
Right.
be there, and you'd be
Yes,
fired up,
that's Sid
right?
Williams, right?
Yeah. And,
Oh, is that?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I don't know if
Yeah.
you know him. He
No.
used to be president of Life. He started
okay.
it. And
Hopefully.
but you listen to guys like Fred Barge. You listen to guys like I mean, I listen to everybody, Reggie and such.
Schubel.
So Schubel, obviously Schubel. Yeah, we all influence
Yeah.
each other. Get a little. I think I might have gotten one or two things from you. I'm not sure. I'll look at my
half
notes
a
because
thing.
you always
A half of one.
You always obviously sign signature and.
Yeah.
Any of the quotes, so I can
Yeah.
tell which ones I
Came
learned
from
from
me.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Which is beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I'm great like that.
So yeah, what we do in our training now, everything is more videotaped, right? So
Okay.
what we do is we take objective training, we call it scenario training. So here's
Yeah,
the
I
scenario.
love that.
Here's the scenario. I got that because when I watched this movie a number of years ago, and it was on the military, and they said that in World War I and World War II, most military soldiers actually didn't combat. They didn't fire. Because their training wasn't in the theater.
Okay.
What they did in Vietnam, you started to see all this post-traumatic stress at a much higher level. Not that it didn't exist before,
Yes.
but what happened is they did war training. They did theater of war training. So they trained the military, so they were actually in the act of it. And therefore, when they acted, they were much more apt to act like they would
In
in
the
their
scene.
training in
Yes.
the real war situation. So a lot of training that occurs in offices is what? You do an office meeting, you're sitting around a table, people got their feet up, you're having lunch, and you go, okay, this is what you do, this is what you do. No. You go up to the front desk and you actually role play it. You do it, not only do you do it exactly where you normally would do it, in the theater, in the scenario,
right, yeah.
so that when those situations happen, so we record those, we record the easy, the hard, the impossible, because sometimes I find doctors necessarily don't say something. I mean, there's many reasons, but many times doctors don't say anything, not because they don't want to say anything, they don't know what to say.
Yes.
What do I say? I don't want to look like an idiot, so we default in saying nothing.
And you know, Dr. Joe Borio, Dr. Sid Williams, who was the founder,
Yes.
the founder of the Life,
Yes.
he used to say.
Did you follow along on that, Frank?
I did
Okay,
now.
didn't-
Yes, I did now.
This is going to actually follow up what you said. He used to say something very brilliant. He said that when they studied the military, they would say to people, "What is it that you do when you're in a fearful situation?"
Yes.
You do what you've been trained to do.
Correct.
Right? And so
Correct.
that's exactly what you're doing. is
Correct.
You're taking out the anxiety.
Correct.
By doing it over and over and
Correct.
over, as a professional sports person would do.
Correct.
Right? We
Correct.
were talking about a professional swimmer, I think from China, the other day, that's killing it. Right.
Right.
And they were saying that she's probably one of the only swimmers in the world that is training. Every training that she does race pace. Like
Right.
most people,
Right.
they have the governor on us a
Right,
little bit.
exactly.
She does race pace every
Right.
single time, and so when
Exactly.
she gets out of the gate in the actual game, she's been
Right.
doing this in practice. all the time.
Absolutely. One of my Borioisms, if I can quote myself,
Please. I love
is
it when
that
you do
in moments of adversity,
Oh, this is a good one.
you know this
Yes,
one, right?
I
In moments of
say it every morning
adversity,
to myself.
you will only. In moments of adversity,
Right.
you will only rise your reaction, if you will, your performance to the highest level of your training. Your training. And I saw that. I was a boxer, so as an amateur and a professional fighter, when you get into the ring, and strain and stress happen, whether you're playing football, right? When you're playing on the field, when that strain or stress happens, you will only perform to the highest, or in many cases, lowest level of your training.
Yes.
So you're only going to be able to perform at that level. So if you haven't trained scenario and if you haven't gone through all the situations, then when that situation happens in your office, hey, I wasn't able to make it in because my son had an ear infection, but I'm here today. I mean, there's 20 things that you can do in that moment. Right. But if you haven't trained on what's best to do, that's an opportunity that is now totally gone. It's just washed away. How do I get the mother to understand more about what I do? How do I elevate the fact that she missed her adjustment and the value of the adjustment and make that adjustment up, or certainly get congruent? How do I get her to understand the benefits of her child? How do I get her to the benefits, understand the nervous system and why the child needs to be here? I mean, there's 20 different things you can do in that freaking moment. And the average doctor, and again, I'm not knocking anybody, I get it, they say nothing.
Well, it's because it's fascinating, because every professional sports team on the planet that is interested in winning, they go in with a game plan, right?
Correct.
They go in with a series
Correct.
of training and plays that they're
Correct.
going to run. They're not just winging it.
Correct.
Yet we have chiropractors that are going into the
Winging
greatest,
it.
most important game on the planet.
Correct.
We're talking about the game of life,
Correct.
and they're completely winging it, throwing
Correct.
the dice, doing
Correct.
what feels right in the moment, right?
Correct.
No
Instead
plan.
of what
Yeah.
works consistently,
Correct.
and putting that into action. And that's one of the things that you teach in your program.
Correct.
Is how to consistently hit it every
Correct.
single time.
Nobody
At
wants,
a
and
high
I use
level.
this analogy, and I use this a lot when I lecture. Nobody wants to hear somebody practice the piano.
Love it.
Okay, you want to hear somebody perform at the piano,
Yes.
right? But if you came over to the house and they said, "Hey, Liam, Frank, my son's learning how to play the piano. Come on in, you get to hear him practice." You're gonna go, "Are you freaking kidding me? Like, oh my God, it's horrible."
Yeah.
But if he gets to a certain level of aptitude, and then what? Now he's got a certain level of proficiency. Hey, he's got a recital. I'll go listen to the recital, right? But average doc is practicing in practice.
That's right.
No. You don't practice in practice. You practice before. You prepare your mind. You go over your scripts. I had a few docs, and again, I say this humbly. I know sometimes I come off like I'm reprimanding, but I think I turn into my dad sometimes. But But, you know, they're like, why are you studying your scripts? I'm like, I'm studying my own script, but I wrote the script. The script that I tell you that you don't even know, I'm still studying my own script.
Right.
Why? Because when that new person comes in on Monday, I want to do as best as I can.
That's right.
I mean, this is the only shot I got.
Yes.
If you blow it or screw it up, they're
done.
not coming in.
They're done, and they're going back into what you always
The
call
whole idea.
allopathic crazy town.
Absolutely.
Is, you know, the injections,
Right.
pills, outside
Exactly.
in surgeries,
Exactly.
and they're going to say chiropractic
Right.
didn't work for me,
Right.
right? And
Exactly.
tell other people that it
Exactly.
didn't work.
Let's
Right.
When
make
in
sure
the reality
we
is that the
not
doctor
forget
didn't perform.
to share with the audience how they can reach you too.
Yes, we're going to do that. Let's get that right at the end. I have one more question. Are we
Okay.
running out of time?
We are running out of
Okay,
time.
one more question, Joe. 'cause
It's so
you-
fun.
I was promised by my agent that I'd actually have 15 more minutes, and
That's unfortunate.
a couple of screenshots are going
Yes.
to come across the bed.
We'll get to you later.
Where's the pyrotechnics? I was promised.
Tonight, come back here at 2 in the morning. We'll be broadcasting. I promise you, Joe.
I got it. I got it.
Joe, you know, last night you were so eloquent, as you always are, in talking about
What does he want?
in talking about the IFCO
Let's hear
it.
and the
Yes.
importance of joining the
Yes.
IFCO. And
Yes.
you made a statement that I thought was brilliant, as
Yes.
usual, about the way you practice is determined by politics. I mean,
Right.
Tell us a
Exactly.
little
Well,
bit
what I
about
was
that.
saying, and I
You
made
should
a-
say it
and I made a-
better than I do.
I made a post. I had made a post a while back. We tend to live in a little bit of non-reality as chiropractors.
Yeah.
So what we do is, first off, we say, I'm going to practice my kind of chiropractic, not to reprimand anybody.
Sure.
There is no your kind of chiropractic.
That's right.
There is chiropractic. There is no straight chiropractic. There is chiropractic. It's a chiropractic adjustment. It's not straight. That is chiropractic,
Yeah.
right?
Or it isn't.
I mean, if you want to do other things, that's fine. But you're still, if you're adjusting and you're practicing straight chiropractic. So, anyways, the philosophy, the love, the way you feel that you want to practice chiropractic, and I say that deliberately to be a little bit, difficult maybe
Yeah.
to some, to push a few buttons.
You're a challenger.
But the reality is this: you don't get to practice your kind of chiropractic based upon how you feel. You get to practice chiropractic based upon the laws in your state
Period.
or in the federal government
Right.
that allow you to practice. That's what we forget. So if we got to step back and understand that. So part of what we do has to be giving back, paying attention at the very least to what others that aren't on the same page, that don't see chiropractic the way we do, to make sure that they're not passing laws that limit or judge or determine what it is we can do every day in practice. I mean, we should be able to use the word subluxation
Yes.
and innate and universal. We should be able to have people on the CCE board, state boards, federal boards, government boards, in
Care
the government. Care plans. Somebody wants to pay ahead. Dentists can do it.
Right.
You
Right.
mean to
Yeah.
tell me, and somehow we do it, we're
Right.
wrong.
It's
Somebody
unethical
comes
when we
in-
do it.
It's
The dentist
unethical.
does it, it's totally fine.
Over-treatment.
Right.
Here's two things that burn me. I know
Yeah.
we're running out of time. Two things that burn me. Dentist comes in. Listen, your child's going to need braces for 2 or 3 years. They're going to cost $5,000 to $6,000. Oh, here, let me bring all the other kids in. No charge for the screening. No charge for the exam. Come on in. 4 or 5 years, you're going to have to wear them, and then you're going to have to wear a freaking retainer. Oh, geez, that sounds like over-treatment to me. It sounds like overutilization. Wait, they're going to pay ahead for the services they didn't even
Yeah.
receive yet?
Unethical.
No problem.
Right.
No
Right,
issue.
right, right.
Yeah.
What about if you go into the gym and you're not in good shape, and somebody says, listen, our membership here in the office,
Right.
because you're about 25, 30 pounds overweight,
Yeah.
you're going to have
You're
to...
not talking to me, right?
Right, no. You're going to have to get in here 5
Right.
days a week.
Yeah.
You need to get in here 5 days a week
Right.
for an hour.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to change how you eat, right? Because, and you're going to need to do that for a year. Oh my God, doesn't that sound a little aggressive? But you tell somebody your spine's been out of alignment for 40 freaking years,
Yes.
and
Half
they
a
need
century.
care. Hold on, it sounds a little bit like overutilization. It sounds like, I mean, are you freaking
Yeah.
serious?
12
So
visits-
where are the
12 visits
people
over 60
on
years,
our
right.
state boards, federal boards,
Yes.
within this profession that are actually standing up and calling that out for what it is, using an example and an analogy that fits so perfectly that other people can understand it, so that we can batter down that absolute stupidity
Yeah.
and make chiropractic the authority on chiropractic in its own lane, like BJ taught us, where it should be.
Beautiful.
And that's what the IFCO allows us to do.
That's what I'm talking about, my friends. Dr. Joe Borio, to finish this,
Yes.
wonderful. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
fantastic interview again. And this is like a Rosa Parks moment again. When we get to this point, and this is one of the things I'm great at, is bringing
I've
up
had
the best.
25 of those things, at least 25 or 30. I'm sucking on the outside of the wrapper. I'm like, I don't even know who touched it, and I'm sucking on same thing as you. And I love you right now for that. Okay.
Did you eat cannolis before
I
you came on?
had peanut butter all over my jeans. I'm like, what am I doing?
This is
All right, go ahead.
fantastic, Joe. How do we get in touch with you? Because
Yeah.
I got to tell you, these communication strategies that you have are phenomenal, and I know people can benefit from it. How can I get in touch with you? Because one of the things I say to myself every morning when I wake up is, aspire to greatness, for greatness already lies within you.
Yes, that's
Dr.
a
Joe
great.
Borio,
That's a
DC.
great
It's one of my
quote.
favorite
That's one of my
things.
favorite
Oh, look
quotes.
at it, it's right there.
It's right there. There it is.
So
Yeah.
how can I get in touch with you, Dr.
Well,
Joe?
yeah, the easiest way to get a hold of me, you go right on our Facebook, which
Yeah.
is Joe Borio. We've got another Facebook, which is Chiropassion Consulting, or you can go on our website, which is www.chiropassionconsulting.com,
Great.
and there's you can fill out a practice evaluation, fill out what you want.
Yeah.
I notice that a lot of times a lot of docs don't like to put their numbers or financial. Maybe there's an embarrassment, or maybe there's a privacy issue. So fill out whatever aspect that you want to share, and then we can talk. And I will say this, and I don't say this in a competitive way. I certainly say this in an open way.
Yeah.
Every single chiropractor should be with a mentor and a coach.
Yeah.
I without a question. I told you my
Yes.
girlfriend went to a Melody went to a real estate outfit,
Yeah.
and Keller Williams. They had 15,000 real estate agents
Wow.
there to learn how to sell a freaking house.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And we can't get more than a few thousand chiropractors here on how to change and save somebody's life.
Yeah.
Why? We got to mentor. We got to teach. You have to pay money out of your pocket, hook up with somebody that does it out of the park awesome,
Yeah.
or did it that way, mentor and train with them every week to make yourself better, without a doubt. And I still do it to this day. I just hired another mentor. I still do it. You should be coached and under the tutelage of somebody that's going to make you better, that's going to hold you accountable, that's going to make you serve more people. Because why would you try to figure it out on your own? You're going to spend 10 years trying to figure it out on your own. That's 10,000 people that could have come in or did come in, and you blew it, and now they're not under chiropractic care because your ego or lack thereof is frustrated because, well, I'm going to try to figure it out on my own. No, you hire somebody that's great, and you train them, that resonates with you. You work with them to be awesome, because what we do is too important to be wasted, or for you to be wasting your time trying to figure it out on your own.
Well, you want to talk about chiropassion?
Yeah. Wow.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
Right, Doug?
yeah.
You got to agree with
I
that.
totally agree with
I mean,
you. Yeah.
seriously?
100%.
Again,
Come on,
it's
man.
the most important game in life, and
Right.
And you're one of the greatest coaches ever to walk the face
Well,
of the planet.
I appreciate
Dr. Joe
that.
Borio, what a pleasure! I got to tell you, go ahead.
I know you
Please,
just
no.
said one of again. I don't understand why you keep pulling that back.
You're the vice
I mean-
president. I told you, you're the vice president.
Again,
of
I'm
all
Joe
coaches.
Biden again. What the hell?
Folks,
I'm
if
just
anything
kidding.
ever happens to me, we're doing great. Joe's completely in charge. Frank's going to be coaching him.
It's an honor, guys.
So,
Yes.
guys,
Yes.
it is a real honor. Thank
Yeah.
you. And we
Please.
joke around and we have a good time.
Yeah.
But in all
Yeah,
seriousness,
absolutely.
I so appreciate you, Dr.
Yeah,
Joe,
yeah.
because this guy is what you see is what you get. He's passionate, he's driven, and it's all about getting more people under chiropractic care so that everyone can express their lives at their optimum. Thank you so much for being so
Absolutely.
brilliant and sharing that brilliance with IFCO
Thank you.
television and
One more,
here
and
at
if
Chiro.
you want to hear more, tomorrow morning at 9:45 a.m.
Yes.
we got a whole hour-long presentation.
that's
Doc.
right.
Yep. With
Great analogies. I got some great analogies.
Good.
Hopefully,
Great,
they'll blow your mind.
It's gonna be
Fantastic.
live streamed 9:45 tomorrow morning.
Great.
Saturday.
Mountain Standard Time.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome,
you so
guys.
much, Doc.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Honor.
Thank you.
Honor. Absolutely. Thank you. Coffee. I can take a coffee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.